Next up, we have Adam Curry from Entangled.org, and he'll be sharing Exploring Consciousness, Subconscious Future Prediction with 10,000 beta users. Adam Curry is a consciousness researcher and tech entrepreneur in Austin, Texas. His background is in traditional hardware and software startups and in the scientific study of psi, having spent many years in its research community at places like Psyleron, Princeton's PEAR Lab, and elsewhere. Adam is the director of Entangled.org, a large-scale psi research project. Take it away, Adam.
All right. Hey, everyone. It's good to be with so many friends and colleagues all in the same place. So I'll take a few minutes and discuss the Entangled project. So very quickly, Entangled is a mobile app. It's designed for consciousness or psi research. It's similar to the Pear Lab or the Global Consciousness Project in the sense that it uses random number generators. We put this together about a year and a half ago and did a quiet beta launch. We just put it in the stores and didn't say anything. And in that time, we've had about 10,000 users word of mouth. So we've had about 10,000 people contribute to this beta exploration. Bit of backstory. So in the 80s and 90s, there was the Princeton Pear Lab. It was started by the dean of the engineering school, and they're famous for the random number generator experiment, and I'll explain that. It's an important one. Basically, you have a physical random number generator that's producing some sort of intrinsic entropy, typically a quantum source. And that entropy is converted to ones and zeros, and that allows you to get a really good statistical baseline of an equal number of ones and zeros that represent some sort of quantum or physical thing in the world. And then you ask somebody to attempt to influence it in a direction of their choosing. For example, produce more ones or produce more zeros. And you sort of rinse and repeat, and you get a large database of ones and zeros that typically show a statistically significant effect correlating with that user's pre-stated intention. Essentially, what that means is that consciousness can go out and do stuff in the world, right? It seems to have this sort of mysterious connection beyond time and space to the physical world. Out of the Pear Lab came the Global Consciousness Project, and I'm sure many of you have heard of that. I think Dean's even in the waiting room. Roger Nelson and Dean Radin had this clever idea where let's spread random number generators around the world, and we'll send all that data to a central place, and then we'll have a kind of a set of pre-registered global events of certain types. And then when those happen, we'll look at the results and see if there's sort of any interesting correlations. And of course, there have been over several decades, most notably at September 11th, when the network of random number generators kind of spiked a few hours before the plane struck. So you can kind of see how Entangled is related to this. It's this idea that we can have as many random number generators as there are app users. So essentially somebody downloads the app and it produces random numbers for them. This enables a number of cool things like the ability to do very granular research topics, granular research questions. But also, what I found in so many years of looking at this stuff is that there's really more to the story. There's a lot more to the story with how these psi effects manifest, how they show up. They can be very goal-directed. They can be very belief-based or subconscious belief-based. There's all sorts of like prosaic psychological factors that go into how psi effects manifest or how PK effects manifest. And the ability to look at a user level is the ability to be granular at how I kind of understand this stuff comes together. So a little on how it works. We've got a photon-based random number generator sitting on a super low latency bare metal server at a facility in California. Essentially what that does is allows us to produce one quantum bit per user per second and to be able to track in a timestamp basis and store every single one of those bits. And so that allows the system to do easy automation and analysis that feeds the app. So if you were to download the app, you'd see this interactive globe, and what you're looking at there is every user's trends, meaning their data is spiking. We show this in the map, kind of a la the Global Consciousness Project. You can see your own RNG data, or if you will, consciousness data. and you can kind of see the world's data. So you can kind of think of it as like this sort of interactive picture into global consciousness or something like that. And then there are notifications. So the app will notify you when your data is trending. And over the last year and a half, I've got a couple hundred versions of, hey, I get notifications whenever I meditate, or I'm doing something meaningful, and these notifications seem to accumulate. And so we're finding that the individual random number generator data does trend for people in ways that's consistent with what the research reported meaningful events. I'll share a little bit about what's presently exciting me, and that is future prediction. So, kind of like how the Global Consciousness Project showed the beginning of the data spike a few hours before the plane struck, uh, is it possible that the Entangled network can provide actionable insights about the future by tapping into consciousness, or that is to say, by tapping into the ability of the consciousness of everyone on the network to traverse time and space and pull back useful information? I know it's like kind of a far out sci-fi idea, but it's pretty fun. You could maybe think of that as like a psychic polymarket or a subconscious polymarket, for example. And if you could do that, then what's cool is you can accelerate discoveries. You can think of all kinds of scientific questions, medical questions, technology blockers, etc., that you could overcome or at least expedite if you could pull back some information from the future and share that in some sort of actionable way to those people working on those problems. So, to that end, we've been running a trial future prediction experiment for a little over a year in earthquake prediction. So, it works like this. In the app, there's an earthquake prediction experiment that you can see. And every user at the top of the hour contributes 1 bit, right? So 1 0 or 1 1. And that is collected each hour. And at the end of 24 hours every day, we render a prediction. And this is all sort of pre-registered. If cumulatively there are more ones than zeros, that means a yes. That means that the network has predicted that in the next 24 hours, there will be an earthquake of magnitude 6.0 or above somewhere in the world. And if it's below 1, then if it's negative, it's below 0, then it will be a no prediction, essentially. So this is fully subconscious. So people aren't like tapping anything in the app or whatever. They're not even thinking about it. This is all just subconsciously driven. So it's fully automated. And what we found over about 400 daily predictions is that we're hovering around 52% accuracy. So the prediction experiment are broken into 3-month segments. So there's no sort of optional stopping, but the accuracy seems to hover around 52%. We've noticed some also very interesting things about prediction talent. So the capability of people to do these types of predictions is unequally distributed, congruent with other Psi research. That means that some people are better than others. And we believe that we can identify them in an automated way in the app. And there's a variety of interesting factors that seem to impact prediction accuracy for people. When they're accurate, who's accurate, and why, and those things that we believe that we can identify and automate and sort of bias the questions over to those people at the right time. And the system can scale. So we can currently support thousands of different prediction questions every hour and still maintain this sort of automated system. So we're interested in accelerating scientific discoveries. So we're looking for participants, partners, crazy ideas. They would like to collaborate on tapping into this sort of subconscious prediction to speed up discoveries in your own area. That could be medical, that could be scientific, that could be technological. All right, thank you very much. Thanks to the CUSAC guys. Always a pleasure, and consider supporting, please, CUSAC and every one of these awesome projects. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Adam. I really enjoyed this. And who here, post in the chat box if you are on the Entangled app. I would love to know if you've had experience with the Entangled app. We're super grateful to be working with Adam on different projects. I'm always amazed at the nuances of Adam's thinking and where he goes with it. So I'm really grateful that you're here with us today, Adam.